सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। हरिः ओम् श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम्. We are in chapter 9 in Bhagavad Gita and we have completed up to 7th sloka. From sloka number 4 up to 10, Paramatma described Ishvara Swarupam. So, some more slokas are there describing Ishvara Swarupam. Let us see them. Sloka number 8. Prakritim swamavashtabhya visrujami punah punah bhutagramamimam krusnam avasam prakrutervasat. Aham means myself, swam prakritim, from this very prakriti which is mine, avashtabhya, having taken that prakriti into my control, prakrutehe vasat, by prakriti vasha, by being controlled by prakriti, avasam imam krusnam bhutagramam. That means these srishti, the entire jivarasi, all the living beings, they are being created. Punaha punaha visrujami. Again and again I create them. So this is what Paramatma is declaring. Aham swam prakrutim avashtabhya prakrutehe vasat avasam imam krusnam bhutagramam punaha punaha visrujami. So with my own prakriti, which is under my control, I create this entire jivarasi, this entire world, this entire jivarasi in particular with their vasanas. Here the jivarasi is, here Paramatma used the word bhutagramam, which means the living beings. Again and again I create them as per their karma, as per their prarabdha. So this is what Paramatma declared here. Aham punaha punaha visrujami. So this entire srishti is periodical. It is circular in form. It is not a straight line model. So this punaha punaha visrujami is a very important vakyam, because it really clears all our doubts. If you consider the srishti is in a straight line model, then it will have a beginning and end. The question is, where will be the first srishti created? How come the first srishti is created? That's a big question, because in the first srishti the previous karma is not there. So what is the reason for first srishti? That is the fundamental question for every rational person. For every rational person this fundamental question rises. So here the srishti is anadi and anantam. Punaha punaha visrujami. Again and again I create. That means there is no end and there is no beginning. The srishti is circular in nature. So there is no starting point, there is no ending point in a circle. That's how the entire srishti is created. So if you ask, if you shoot a piercing bullet, and will it go through a non-piercing wall or not? If somebody asks, it is very difficult to answer, because if it is a piercing bullet, it should pass through the wall. Again, the second sentence is It is a non-piercing wall. Because it is a non-piercing wall, it cannot allow the bullet to go through. So it is very difficult to answer. So certain questions are very trickish like this. In the same way, the Srishti, if you take it in a straight line model, in a straight line nature, it will have a beginning and it will have an end. So for Srishti, there is no beginning, there is no end. That is why the word punaha punaha is used. This clears all our doubts. So Srishti happens again and again periodically by Paramatma because he has a control over his own Prakriti. Whereas the Jivarasis, they don't have a control on Prakriti, they don't have control on Maya. They have to get again birth based on their previous karma. Avasaha, that word is used. Avasaha means helplessly. Prakrutehe vasat, by Prakruti Vasam, by the control of the Maya, they have to take birth again. By the control of Prakriti, they have to take birth again. Prakrutim swam avastabhya. If I have to create this Srishti, I have to take the help of Maya. This Prakriti is in Avyakta form. It is not in the manifest form. So, just as if I have to create a dream, then I have to create the dream through Vasanas. The Vasanas are not in the manifest form. So, in the same way, entire Jagat is in the unmanifest form. So, taking the help of Maya, I have to manifest this. This is what he meant by Prakrutim Swam Avastabhya. Imam Krusnam Bhutagramam. The entire range of living beings I am creating. Here the word Gramam is used. Gramam means not a village. Gramam means Hindi gaon. So that is not the word here we have to take. Gramam means the group of living beings. Bhuta Gramam. Gramam means group. Samudayam. So Bhuta Samudayam. So the entire Jivarasi I am creating. That's what Paramatma is saying. And he says, Avasam. Avasam means helplessly. Who is helpless? Is God helpless? Is he helplessly creating? Or Maya is helpless? Or Jivarasi is helpless? Here, the Jivarasi is helpless. Jivarasi, the Jiva will not have a control regarding the next birth. To have or not to have, he has no control. To have a particular birth also, he has no control. So, Avasham. Avasham means helplessly. Who is helplessly creating the Srishti? Bhagavan is also helpless because he has to create the Srishti in order to see that the Jivarasi exhaust their prarabdha. So, in order to make the Jivarasi experience the prarabdha, Bhagavan had to create this Srishti. Then Jivarasi is helpless because they have the unexhausted prarabdha. They have to get themselves manifested. So, likewise, both Jivarasi is helpless and Bhagavan is also helpless. But Bhagavan is not purposefully doing this. This is what we have to do. Bhagavan is only a facilitator, just like a catalyst in chemistry. He is only a facilitator. In his presence, everything is happening. That also we will come to know. So, Avasham. Avasham means helplessly this creation is taking place on and on and on and on, again and again and again. So, what is the solution for this? That means this is Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam. This is what we call samsara. The definition of samsara means to take birth again and again and get into the problems of the mundane world. So how to get out of this samsara chakram, the wheel of samsara, is to get liberation. If you get liberation, then only you can come out of this samsara chakram. That is the only and only solution. So, in this manner, Bhagavan is the Srishtikarta. This is one special character of Ishvara. Nachamam tani karmani nibhadnanti dhananjaya udasina vadasinam asaktam teshu karmasu. Dhananjaya, hey Arjuna, teshu karmasu asaktam cha udasinavat asinam mam tani karmani nanibadnanti. Hey Dhananjaya. Hey Dhananjaya means, O Arjuna, teshu karmasu. In these karmas, asaktam, I don't have any abhimana, I don't have any kind of kartrutvam. I don't claim that I am doing this. Udasinavat, I am very static, I am just a sakshi. Asinam mam tan karmani nanibadnanti. So I am just neutral. I don't involve in this karma. I don't do these karmas myself. In my very presence, these things are happening. Not only that, because I am doing this karma with a non-binding attitude, they will not, taint me. He Dhananjaya, teshu karmasu asaktam udasinavat asinam mam tani karmani cha nanibadnanti. O Arjuna, I don't have any abhimana on these karmas. So, having maintained that neutral mind, these karmas will not bind me. I am akarta abhokta. So, this is the immediate, doubt one will get in the mind. Okay, if Bhagavan is creating the world, is he not getting punyam or papam? So, for every karma, you get karma phala. What about Bhagavan? Bhagavan is doing such a massive work, a mega project he has taken up, like Srishti. So, does he not get karma phala? That's a question, a valid question. So, here, Paramatma is saying, I am akarta abhokta. I am not the karta, I am not the bhokta. I don't have any karma phala. I need not undergo any karma phala. Because I do it with a feeling that I am not doing this, with a kind of attitude that I am akarta abhokta. Generally, we blame God. Why should he create all the problems to us? He can simply keep quiet. He can as well keep quiet. He created the world and we all suffer and he enjoys like a sadist. We all suffer in this world and he is enjoying it. It is a play for him. It's too much. Like that, we blame and we criticize. This is not the right perspective. Because even Bhagavan is helpless. That's what the earlier sloka indicated. Helplessly he is creating. Helplessly he is facilitating the creation. Helplessly the creation happens in his presence. Because to exhaust the karmas of jivas. Jivas have accrued karmas over janma and janma. So these karmas they have to undergo. they have to finish these karmas by experiencing them. So, Paramatma has created the Jagat. So here, his role is just a Sakshi. That also, we will get it in the next sloka. But here, what he wants to say is, I am not the Karta, I am not the Bhokta. I am not the Karta, I am not the Bhokta, because I don't do this with any Abhimana. Abhimana means I am doing this, so I must enjoy. With that mindset, I am not doing. That is what Paramatma is saying. So he has given a clue for all of us. Let us see. Tani karmani mam nani badnanti. So, though I am doing these karmas will not bind me. This is what Paramatma is declaring. Srishti, Sthiti, Laya. All the three things he is doing. But then these karmas will not bind him. How? I am not bounded by the karmas. So he is revealing the secret. Be very attentive. You should listen this portion very carefully. So I am not doing this with abhimana, all these karmas with abhimana. Karmasu asaktam, that is the word used. Karmasu asaktam. I am not having any bondage with karma. The bondage with karma means what? We do a particular thing and we woo the karma phala in such a way that by hook or crook, it must happen like this only. You already prefix the karma phala. If the karma phala is not in your favor, then you really, repent and you cry a lot. So, in case of Bhagavan, that is not the attitude. Karmasu asaktam. I am not having any bondage with karma. That means with kartrutva abhimanam, I am not doing. I am doing this work, so it must happen like this only. That kind of attitude is not there. So this is a clue for all of us who are into karma. Even Bhagavan also cannot escape karma. He has to do srishti, sthiti and laya. Then he has given a clue. What is the clue? Do the karma without any bondage. Non-binding karmas we can do. So, this is the clue. So, this clue also gives you an idea that you need not stop doing karma. You can do any number of karmas with a non-binding attitude. So, this is what he meant by karmasu asaktam. Karmasu asakta means without any bondage towards the karma. Without any kartrutva abhimanam. Kartrutva abhimanam means people are so adamant, so finicky about the karma phala. Once the karma is over, they are so much worried about the karma phala. Karma phala is not in your hand. Because the karma phala comes from Ishvara and he gives karma phala as per your previous karma. He weighs what is the karma phala you deserve and he gives you the karma phala. So sometimes the karma phala may be in your favor, sometimes the karma phala may be right opposite to your desire. So, with a non-binding attitude means with prasada buddhi, I will accept anything as Ishvara prasadam. That kind of attitude you must develop once you complete your work. So, that attitude is called udasinavat asinam. Udasinavat asinam means without having any kind of temperament towards the karma phala. So without having any bondage towards the karma, I am doing this work with an attitude, because of me only it is happening. So it must give me the karma phala I desire. That kind of attitude is not there in case of Bhagavan. That is what he meant by Udasinavat Asinam. I am just maintaining that neutral mind. I don't have any kind of bondage towards the karma. That is what Paramatma declared here. Naiva kinchit karometi yukto manyeta tattvavit pasyan srunvan sprusan jigran asnan gachan swapan swasan. So 24/7 I am doing lots of works, but none of the karmas taint me. None of the karmas touch me, because I am doing it with an attitude of akarta, abhokta. So this abhimana tyaga, karma abhimana tyaga is the clue. That means if you don't have bondage towards karma, you are free from the karma phala. Kartrutva bhoktrutvam you will not get if you have an attitude which is free from the bondage of karma. Karma abhimana if you don't have, you are free from the kartrutvam and bhoktrutvam. You become sakarta, abhokta. So this is a wonderful sloka. You must remember, whenever you are doing a work, you should carefully watch. You should carefully, observe yourself whether you are having that, bondage towards the karma phala or not. You do your work with the fullest vigor. Don't dilute the work. You do it with your full vigor, enthusiasm and interest. While doing the work and after the work, after you dedicate the work to Paramatma, you don't have absolutely any issues in receiving the karma phala. That attitude is called abhimana tyagam. Karma phala abhimana tyagam. If you have that abhimana tyagam, you don't have kartrutvam, you don't have bhoktrutvam. So you are akarta, abhokta. So we'll go to the 10th sloka. In this, Paramatma declared himself as akarta, abhokta. Then the 10th sloka, we'll see. Maya dhyakshena prakrutihi suyate sacharacharam hetunanena kaunteya jagadvi parivartate. He kaunteya adhyakshena maya prakrutihi sacharacharam suyate anena hetuna jagat viparivartate. So, hey Arjuna, hey son of Kunti, in my very presence, maya adhyakshina, when I am the very presiding officer, in my very presence, prakrutihi sacharacharam suyate, this maya is creating chara prapancha, achara prapancha, the moving objects and non-moving objects. Non-moving objects means the world, all jadavastus, the things which cannot move, like hills, the space, like that, the things which do not move. Chara prapancha means the prapancha which moves. So, like that chara, achara. So, I create this chara prapancham and achara prapancham. According to anena hetuna jagat viparivartate. So the entire jagat is revolving because of this reason. He kaunteya maya adhyakshena prakrutihi sacharacharam suyate anena hetuna jagat viparivartate. Hey Kunti Sutta, hey son of Arjuna, I am the presiding officer for this Srishti. Presiding officer means in his presence, things are happening. He is not doing it. So here the perspective is changed. Earlier he said, I am doing. He changed the wording. He said, I am the Adhyaksha, I am the president. In my very presiding nature, when I preside over, the things are happening. So, in my very presence, Prakritihi means the Maya is creating Chara and Achara. So Maya is responsible for creation of this entire Jagat. Maya is under the control of Bhagavan. So, according to this reason, the entire samsara chakram is revolving. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. Like that, the entire samsara chakra is revolving. So here he is giving a different idea about his nature. In the previous sloka, he said that I am akarta, abhokta. He admitted in a way that I am doing srishti, sthiti and laya. Here he is clarifying. His role is not actually involving into the karma. Like we all do karma, it is not like that. Here he clarifies that he clarifies in this sloka that in his presence itself, he is not involved in karma. In the earlier sloka, he said, I am doing it with a feeling of no bondage with karma. But here, he has given a different aspect. In the earlier sloka, he was talking about the Vyavahara Ishvara. That means Brahman plus Maya. Here, he is talking about the Paramardhika Ishvara. Here, he is talking about his absolute nature. In his absolute nature, he is not doing anything. See the subtle differences. When he is Ishvara, that is Maya plus Chaitanyam, he claims, yes, I did this, but with an attitude of no bondage towards the karma. As Ishvara. Now in this sloka, he says, I have a higher Swarupam, which is called Chaitanyam. As Chaitanyam, I am not even doing this work. In my very presence, Maya is doing. So he gives this to Maya. He Kaunteya, Maya Adhyakshena Prakritihi Sacharacharam Suyate. In my very presence, in my very, very presiding nature, all the Srishti is happening due to Prakriti, due to Maya. Anena hetuna jagat viparivartate. So with this reason, the entire jagat is happening. So my role is Sakshi, the witnessing consciousness. That is what he is telling. So if you connect to the previous sloka and this, what you have to understand is karma abhimanam, that is the bondage towards karma. If you are not having, means you have to have that witnessing attitude. You should have that witnessing attitude towards the work. So you should claim that you are the witnessing consciousness. When you claim that you are the witnessing consciousness, you don't have any kind of abhimana towards the karma. So here that Sakshi Bhutam, the concept of Sakshi, the witnessing consciousness, is explained here. Paramatma is not doing anything wantonly. He doesn't have any kind of biased nature towards anyone. So in his very nature, the things are happening. The things are taking place on their own in his very presence. It is just like the light in this room, in the presence of light, a lot of transactions are being taken place. In the very presence of light, we are having this MS team meeting. So, is light responsible for this MS Teams meeting? Indirectly, yes, but directly, no. Because without light, we cannot conduct the meeting. But indirectly, it is responsible. But directly, it is not responsible. So, light is not talking, light is not listening, light did not switch on the switch. So, like that, light is not directly responsible. Light did not log in. So, light is not responsible. In the very presence, when light is the presiding officer, things are happening. Maya adhyakshena prakrutihi suyate. So, this Maya is creating all this srishti. So, this is what he meant. Maya adhyakshena means this apara prakriti and para prakriti. There are two kinds of Prakritis. Para Prakriti means the Chaitanya Tattvam. Apara Prakriti means along with Maya, Paramatma is called Apara Prakriti. So Apara Prakriti creates the world. Para Prakriti is not create the world. Prakritihi suyate sacharacharam. Prakriti is creating this charachara prapancham. Prakriti means Maya. Suppose the electricity is flowing in all the gadgets. Is electricity responsible for a rotation of the fan and the brilliance of the light and the coolness in the air conditioner? If you ask, indirectly yes, but directly no. If directly yes, then same electricity should rotate the bulb and see that the fan illumines like a bulb. It is not doing. So it is the nature of these gadgets, it is the very design of these gadgets, they are manifesting different kinds of, they are manifesting in different ways. So in the very presence of electricity, the things are happening. We can understand this way. So in the same way, here, in the very presence of Paramatma, the absolute nature, that is Paraprakriti or Chaitanyam, which is Sakshi Chaitanyam, the entire Charachara Prapancham is created by Prakriti. So this is what Paramatma said. Anena hetuna jagat viparivartate. Anena hetuna jagat viparivartate means with this very nature, Bhagavan is, with his very nature, Maya, with the Maya is responsible for the Jagat to be created again and again. So if Bhagavan is creating this entire world, what happens? Some are bad in this world, some are very good in this world. Why should Bhagavan create bad people? That's a big question. So here Paramatma says, I am not creating this world. In my very presence, things are happening. Like in the presence of light, the transactions are taking place. In the presence of electricity, the fan is giving air, light is giving brilliance, AC is giving coolness. So like that, they manifest in different ways. So, hetuna anena. So in my very presence, Jagannatakam, the drama is taking place. In Panchadasi, Vidyaranya brilliantly presents this topic in Nataka Deepa Prakaranam. In Nataka Deepa Prakaranam, he presents that in a stage, that floodlights, they illumine the stage and actors come and they play their role, they deliver their dialogues and they go away. Some other actors come and they deliver. And once the entire drama is over, then the screen is dropped. Again, the stage is there, but no actor. That emptiness is also illumined by the stage lights. So like that, the presence of God being the presiding officer, the entire things are taking place. Jagat Viparivartate. Jagat Viparivartate means the entire Jagat is revolving. That means Srishti and Laya, Srishti and Pralayam, like that the entire Srishti takes place, again Pralayam takes place. So when you know that Ishvara is not responsible, you cannot blame God for this creation. This a lady who is very pious and so much devoted, she was into bhakti for years. She was doing all kinds of vratas and doing upavasas and all that. She wanted her daughter to be married soon. But however, due to her prarabdha, it did not happen. So she got wild. She said there is no God. So all puja books and all the murtis, all idols of God, she threw it into the dustbin, saying that there is no God. This will be the attitude if you think that God is responsible for this creation. God is not responsible. God is only a sakshi. In His very presence, things are happening. So, now you may ask, if that is the case, why should we pray? The prayers are useful if a prarabdha is weak and your prayer is strong. It can mitigate your prarabdha. It is all due to your karmas. That is what we are saying, isn't it? The entire emphasis on the jiva's karma. Whatever the karma jiva does, he has to undergo the karma phala. That is the basic logic. So we are not denying the karma phala of jiva. We are only saying that Ishvara has no karma phala. So you should understand the subtle differences. So jiva's bad karma can be mitigated. Bad prarabdha can be mitigated by a prarthana, by a prayer, by a kind of puja. If his prarthana, if his prayer is stronger compared to prarabdha, he can mitigate it. If prarabdha is stronger and prayer is weaker, he cannot change it. He does it, hardly 10 minutes, that too with a lot of, wavering mind. How can he expect the result, positively? These people, they cannot spend quality time for God. They have so many things in this world which is their priority, and they want things to change overnight. How can this happen? So, up to this we have seen Ishvara Swarupa. That is from sloka number 4 up to 10, we have seen various aspects of Ishvara. Mainly 6 different aspects of Ishvara were discussed by Krishna Paramatma. They are Ishvara in his higher nature is avyaktam. This is the first one. The second one is Ishvara is sarvavyapakam, is all pervading. Ishvara is midya jagad adhishtanam. He is the very substratum of the entire midya world. This is the third nature. The fourth nature is, he is the reason for Srishti, Sthiti and Laya. The fifth one is Asangam or Akarta Bhokta. That means he is not tainted by the work here. Though it is mentioned that he is doing Srishti, Sthiti and Laya, he doesn't get karma phala. That is what we wants to say. He is akarta, abhokta. He is asangaha. This is the fifth one. Sixth one is he is Sakshi Bhutam. He is a witnessing consciousness. He is the presiding officer. So, with this, the very important portion, that is Isvara Swarupam, is over, and we are shifting to a new topic called what is samsara, what is the reason for samsara, and how to get out of it. The samsara means the cycle, the birth, death cycle is called samsara. Samyak sarati, that is called samsara. So in sloka number 11, Paramatma is mentioning what is the reason for samsara, what is the reason for the punarapi jananam and punarapi maranam. Avajananti mam modaha manushim tanumasritam param bhavamajanantaha mama bhuta maheshwaram. Mama paramam bhavam avajanantaha. So, mama means my, paramam bhavam, the ultimate nature. Avajananta, not knowing. Mudaha, this ajnan is bhuta maheshwaram. I am the Maheshwara for the entire Jivarasi. Manushim tanum asritum. They think that I dwell in a human form. I reside in a human form. I take the human form. Mam avajananti. They undermine me. They really bring my glory down. Bhuta maheshwaram mama paramam bhavam ajanantaha modaha. So all these people, they undermine my nature. They do not know my ultimate nature. They do not realize my ultimate nature. Manushim tanum asritum mama avajananti. They think that I am in the human form. So avajananti. So they bring down my glory. So Paramatma is feeling bad. Paramatma is saying, these people, they are so foolish. They do not realize my glory and real nature. They think that I am bounded by human nature. That human form is only my lower nature. They do not come to my higher nature, which is the ultimate nature. So, not knowing my higher nature, these ignorant people, they undermine me. They think that I am in the human form. So, up to 10th sloka, Paramatma described about the Paraprakriti. He has explained various aspects like Avyaktam, then Srishti Sthiti Laya Karakam, Sakshi Bhutam, Akarta, Bhokta, all these aspects he has already mentioned. Then having mentioned, then he is focusing on what kind of mistake these people are doing. So if they come out of this mistake, they can be free from the samsara chakram. That is what Paramatma's message. So people think that I am always in the human form, which is not correct. So if they graduate themselves to my higher reality, which is their reality, they understand that, then they are free. That is what Paramatma wants to say. Every person, he is basically for three fundamental things. That is happiness, peace and security. So they are not outside. Peace, happiness and security, they are not outside. So they are into the samsara, and they think that they are available outside, and unfortunately they don't get it. So their trial is just a wasteful trial. Their effort is a wasteful effort. So they get disgusted. Sometimes they blame God also for their failure. Actually, it is their ignorance. They don't want to come out of ignorance. On the contrary, they blame God. So that is why Mudaha. Mudaha means those who cannot make the Nitya Nitya Vastu Viveka, who cannot distinguish which is Nityam, which is Anityam. So they are the Mudas. They are the Ajnanis, Avivekis. Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudamate. He said, may you understand the real nature of God. So, na karmana na prajaya dhanena tyage naike amrutatvam. So, you will not get amrutatvam by karma or by dhanam or by progeny. You will get only by tyagam. Tyagam means karma phala abhimana tyagam. If you have non-bondage, if you do not have any bondage with the karma, then only you can get this amrutatvam. Then only you can get moksham. Mudaha mama paramam bhavam ajananta. They do not understand my real nature. They only think that I am in the human form. They think that I am in the Krishna form or in the Rama form or in the Devi form. So they do not go beyond that. It is not that we are, criticizing. We are not belittling the human form. Human form is Bhagavan's nature, no doubt in it. That is one stage. From that stage, the Bhakta must escalate himself to Nirguna Parabrahma, which is his ultimate Swarupam, Ishvara Swarupam, which is mentioned here in Sloka 4 to 10. So one must graduate to that level. So that is the emphasis of Paramatma. So he says, Manushim Tanum Asritum. They think that I am in a human form, that I am in a human body. That is why I take birth and I take, exit in this world. They say Swargarohanam. So they celebrate Paramatma's birthday, Krishnashtami, Janmashtami they call it. Like that they celebrate. So Shankara Bhagavad Pada, he has written a sloka called Para Puja. In that, he says, I am doing Sodasha Puja, and by doing this Sodasha Puja, Sodasha Upachara Puja, I am doing Sodasha Apachara. I am doing 16 doshas. Ayatu Varada Devi Aksharam Brahma Sammitam Gayatrin Chandasam Matedam Brahma Jushvasvanaha. Ayatu. Ayatu means we keep a simhasanam and then invite God. When God is all pervading, how can he come from one place to another? By saying, please take the seat. The very idea is you are insulting God. All pervading God cannot move. If he is moving from one place to another place, that means he is not all pervading. So, by inviting God into this small murti, we are insulting him. Then asanam samarpayami. I am offering this asanam. May you take this seat. This is another sentence we are using. So in this, what we are doing is all pervading God. We want to restrict himself to a small seat. That too very tiny seat in our puja mandira. This is second insult. Then argyam samarpayami, padhyam samarpayami. Like that, we continue this Shodasa puja. So this is all, belittling the magnificent God. The glory of the God is undermined by doing this Shodasa puja. So in Para puja, Shankara Bhagavatpada feels bad. He says that by doing the Shodasa Puja, I am undermining you, God. I am belittling you, God. I am insulting you, God. Like that, he feels bad. So, by saying all this, it is not our, mission to make you stop the daily puja. The idea is only, that is only a part of a ritual, but in the back of your mind, you must always have that feeling God is all pervading, God is omniscient, God is omnipotent. So, with that, God is Sakshi, He is not a Karta, He is not a Bhokta. So, He is not tainted by the karmas here. So, if you do this, what happens is you escalate yourself from Saguna Ishvara to Nirguna Ishvara. So, our journey must be like this. First, we have to understand God is different from me. So, in that case, we have the Triputi. Triputi means God, world, and Jiva. In that, the world is troubling me, so I seek God so that I am free from the troubles. Then, before that, you are the world dependent. Then, once you understand God, then you are God dependent. Then, once you understand more about the God, the higher nature of the God, you depend on yourself. Depend on yourself means not the lower nature, but the higher nature, which is Shakshi, which is Chaitanyam, which is also your nature. In your higher nature, you are nothing but the God. So, this is the travel. So, from Karma Yoga, you have to Karma Yoga plus Upasana Yoga plus Jnana Yogam. This is the three-tier journey. With this three-tier journey, you will get moksha here and now. So we will learn more about this in the coming days, in the next class. Om Tat Sat Sarvam Sri Krishna Arpanamast. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudatyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om